The Oscars. Oscar news here. It's getting to be that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
So, over 100 films are submitted for consideration in the documentary category, and it's tradition that they pare those down to 15, and that's known as the short list, from which they will choose their final 5 nominees. This year's short list, here are the titles. Amy, Best of Enemies, Cartel Land, Going Clear, He Named Me Malala, Heart of a Dog, The Hunting Ground, Listen to Me Marlin, The Look of Silence, Maru, 3.5 Minutes, 10 Bullets, We Come as Friends, What Happened, Miss Simone, Where to Invade Next, and Winter on Fire, Ukraine's Fight for Freedom. First of all, there's three portraits of artists here.
Mm-hmm.
So only one of those will get through, and the one that will get through is Amy.
Right.
So I think Miss Simone and Miss Simone and Marlon Brando will go by the wayside.
Probably.
But Michael Moore got in there. Michael Moore got in. Wow. Okay.
Is he still
he's the most famous
is he still the head of the documentary branch? I think.
Oh, well, that's a good point. There you go.
Doesn't surprise me he gets in, but So should we attack the artist things first? I mean, we all love Amy. I think
Yeah.
And we've talked.
Once in love with Amy. Yeah, Amy will get in, and as of right now, Amy's the front runner. The one on its heels, which will definitely get in, is The Look of Silence.
Mm-hmm.
That
right.
That'll something too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Will Going Clear get in?
It's so difficult. I mean, I guess I hope it will. I'm a little underwhelmed by that movie a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't really know. I think it's possible it might not, but so for that reason, I can't really say exactly why I'm underwhelmed with it, but I just did have that impression of it. Is that all there is after
I'm mostly
done?
underwhelmed by it, and I'll tell you, it's not actually the film's fault. But I even not reading that book, I saw the movie before I saw the movie, because leading up to the movie, right after the premiere of it at Sundance, every single site was like, here are the 10 things revealed in the movie, and for months and months and months there are articles.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like, what the hell? Why do I even have to see the movie now? I mean, there's nothing.
That's a good point. I mean, whenever there's a book written by in DC, the Washington Post will always publish everything you need to know, or Politico, about an insiders or whatever the administration was, but the tell-all book. You're like, why do I want to read the book now? Why would I ever want to read the book? So I understand exactly what you're saying, and you're right. That's all people were doing with this documentary long before it came out.
Because people have a hard on for Scientology. They want to get it, and so they want to get.
But here's
the
question. Here's the question though. I don't think it'll be nominated just for legitimate concerns. But do you think the fact that it's about the Hollywood, a big Hollywood institution with some of our biggest actors attached to it, do you think that hurts it?
Possibly.
Oh, I think
it's possible that there are a lot of Academy members that are part of Scientology and they won't want to do it, or the Scientologists will send blanket threatening letters to every Academy member. They probably have somebody working on that right now.
Rocco will be sending those
we're
letters.
Going to get you.
Rocco will be sending those letters. You'll get a visit from Rocco Lampoon.
I love I love Best of Enemies. I do.
I think that will get in.
I actually would give that as my favorite documentary this year. I would have to give that, right now. I love Amy, but I'd have to give it to Best of Enemies right now.
Well, I love how Best of Enemies is a movie about the past, but it's so much about the present. I think that's one of its miracles that it does, without overtly underlining that fact. It's just like it just lets you know, well, hey, this is how this started, and that's great, I think. So I think that's in.
I love What Happened, Miss Simone, but that will not get in.
I watched it last night.
Oh, you did?
Well, let's talk about Miss Simone. Can we talk about that for just a second? I liked What Happened, Miss Simone, but and I know that you sort of characterized it in your interview with Liz Garbus. I don't know if I'm misquoting or whatever, but that you felt like she was an unknowable character, but I didn't feel that way at all. I feel like you absolutely know who she is. And
no, I do too. I actually didn't say that to her.
Oh, okay. Well, you asked the question.
Got
it
that
seems
out
like
now.
I know you asked her a question that it seems like you're attracted to unknowable things.
No, that was whatever happened. Something's wrong with Aunt Diane. The portraits that she's done of Bobby Fischer and Miss Simone, they're complicated people that you feel conflicted about until the movie reveals, why they are what they are.
Right.
So,
but for me, the chief aspect of Miss Simone, while it's a really good portrait and everything, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was over the top great. But the chief reason to watch it is if you don't know anything about Nina Simone's music, this will absolutely give you a primer into that, and so it's worthwhile on that level. But I just thought it was a little underwhelming as a film as a whole, but not a bad movie. Just not.
And then the Hunting Ground might get in just on subject matter alone. It's all about college campus rape. It's also not a bad movie. It's just a very repetitive one.
Was this the one on CNN a couple of weeks ago?
It came on CNN bought it, and played it.
Well, it was repetitive. I mean, just in terms of, it's just the same kind of story, just repeated, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are so many women that have been raped on college campuses that the movie interviews a few of them, and then it goes on a track about why the colleges won't follow through on prosecution, and then it goes back to a couple of more testimonials about I was raped, and it just feels repetitive as a result. There's no flow to it, but it's a big problem. It's a big epidemic. It's got a really long stretch devoted to the two rapes that supposedly the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers committed in college. And he threatened to sue CNN if they played it, and they played it anyway. So,
CNN's been standing up to people lately. Okay. So
Cartel Land. I think Cartel Land has a real shot at getting in, too. Because you're absolutely right, Dean, what you thought of it. The stuff on the front line in Mexico of the drug war there is just really stunning stuff. I feel
it is.
And you do feel like that filmmaker's in danger's way.
Yes.
So
exactly.
And you're like, how did he manage to get all this stuff? So it's a pretty amazing portrait, I think.
But it comes up short on the when it goes to the American side. I wonder if it might have been a better movie if they were just left off the American side, because you get a sense that that it's not a movie that's half and half, and that's sort of what you expect it to be, and then it doesn't do that. And when it does go to the American side, it seems a little cursory. And also, I just got the personal sense that they probably weren't given as much access to the Americans in the movie, because maybe they were perhaps a little bit more suspicious of the media being snooping into their shit than.
Well, what shocked me is that the Mexicans weren't. especially the people that cook the drugs. I
Right.
mean, that's what shocked
Oh
me.
yeah, that was very surprising, and it ends with such a gut punch that it's just unbelievable. So I think you're right.
I think
there's
enough about that movie that is just jaw-droppingly great that I think it has a real shot at getting in. I think what happened was he said to himself, "Well, I need to do a parallel. I need to include the American side," and that was, smart thinking. But you never know what you're going to get with documentaries, and I think he went on that track, and he probably realized it's weaker material. But I don't think he felt like he could get rid of it. I think he felt too married to it.
And it's also a good idea to just show what's happening on the other side anyway. So I mean, I can forgive it for that.
3.5 minutes, 10 bullets. That might get in.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I thought that
was a big story here.
Yeah, I thought that was very good. I mean, it took sort of a real, a national controversy and really, it's probably the most out of all the documentaries made, particularly the ones that are made from, footage that's shot for the documentary. I thought it was elegantly filmed and framed, beautifully photographed. Like there's no handheld shots. Everything is magnificently framed in it, and of course it really gets you very, very angry because it's just to let people know it's about the case that happened in Florida where a guy shot into a car full of black kids, white guy, shooting into a car full of black kids because there was a dispute over their loud music at a gas station. And it is really, really well done, superbly done. So I think that has a real shot at getting in.
Okay, the International Documentary Association gave out their awards last night, and they gave their top prize to The Look of Silence, which is a follow-up to The Act of Killing.
Which is still a movie that I can't bring myself to watch because it's just so, I deal with depression, so it just, I like a good depressing movie too, but
I mean, there's only two happy documentaries among all of these, which is the Michael Moore film apparently, and Best of Enemies.
Right,
and
that's as happy as it gets in the documentary category.
yeah. Which the Academy Awards has honored some happy documentaries as of late.
Yeah, it has. I mean, with Sugar Man and the 20 Feet from Stardom, and even March of the Penguins. So
that's true.
Yeah. They're not completely adverse to it.
The Documentary Association Best Editing went to the Kurt Cobain movie. Best Writing to Listen to Me, Marlon. Best Limited Series to The Jinx. Good God, The Jinx. Good. I mean, what an accomplishment that was. The Career Achievement Award went to Gordon Quinn, who is one of our guests for the series. So that's IDA, the documentary series we're doing in January.